Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Hello. Welcome to another live edition of the Narrative Podcast. I am your host, Halsey Allen. Welcome all my narrators. Welcome anybody that may be currently listening right now, unfamiliar with me or the Narrative Podcast. Welcome to you. So yeah, I didn't go live last week, had some stuff to do, but I'm here today on this fine Wednesday. Yep, it is definitely hump day. So we made it, we're over the hump. Weekend right around the corner. Still got plenty of time to crush it if things ain't going your way this week. Anyway, welcome to my platform, the Narrative Podcast. My narrators, they already know the demonstration. They know what the Narrative Podcast is about and my format. But before diving into the content, I'll give a brief overview of the Narrative Podcast and my content to my new listeners before diving into the content. But before diving into the content, just want to get some business squared away first. We had a loss in our community in the entertainment industry. So just recently, a group member, Irish Gristed, of seven of the female R&B group 702 just recently passed away. And so for those that aren't familiar with 702, they had a brief, well, they didn't have a brief, poor choice of words. They had a album in like the mid-late 90s. Their introduction to the world was, a song featured with another group called Subway, and that was a group out of Chicago. And the person that found the group was Missy Elliott. And after she got introduced to the group, as they say, the rest was history. They had a string of hits. Just their probably one of their biggest hits they had was, I believe it was titled "Hide and Seek." I was up on it. I wasn't a super fan, but I am acquainted with the music. That was definitely one in my era. Let me see. Answer that real quick. Games We Play. That was the name of the song. I would say that probably was the biggest hit of their career and their introduction to the world. But to no avail, she had passed just recently. I think it was like a couple of days ago. Not even a whole week yet, but so we're going to give her a moment of silence. Her sister announced it on her Facebook post. She said she had been battling with, kidney problems for a while. She died of, allegedly died of kidney failure from the sources I found. But Yeah, so we're going to give her a brief moment of silence before diving into the contents. All right, so give you guys a brief overview of the Narrative Podcast and essentially, what it is I do here in this audio platform that I'm occupying. So let's start at the very top, tippy, the Narrative Podcast, the name. So the Narrative Podcast, why did I start this podcast? I started this podcast because I didn't like the false narrative that the mainstream media was weaving about original people and original culture. They focused the lens on our people and our culture through a negative perspective, from a negative view. They basically just play up all the negative stereotypes and negative stigmas within our culture. So what I want to do was to design a platform where I'm showcasing us and highlighting us at our best, as an answer to, how the media is always portraying us at our worst. Now, they primarily do this to sell and generate news. They also do this to control the minds of the masses. They want to market us a certain way to a certain demographic. Basically, everybody outside of our culture, they want us to isolate us, and by having people treat us a certain way and react to us a certain way, because of the frames of reference they're given about our people and our culture. So, as a matter of fact, I think that's the perfect segue to my tagline for my podcast, the Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. How do I destroy the negative stereotypes? By providing positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. So that's, what the focal point of the Narrative Podcast is. That's what my entire podcast is dedicated to. I'm trying to inspire, bring awareness to my people and anybody that listens to this podcast, how important it is to share positive content about our people and our culture. Whatever platform that you're occupying, just make sure to share positive content about our people and our culture, because we're living in the digital age. It's a whole lot of information sharing going on. Some information is informative and educational. Other information that you get online is divisive and, ill-informed information, misguided and misdirected information. Excuse me. Yeah, that's what the phrase I was searching for. So we don't want to put out misinformation about our people and our culture, because there's already enough of that, by mainstream media. Because these days people, they judge you based on, what you're posting online. Now, people outside of our culture, they already don't have, positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. They're intentionally giving negative frames of reference about our people and our culture. So how do we look as a people, playing into these negative stereotypes and stigmas that they circulate and propagate about our people and our culture? So how do we look playing into pimp culture, whore culture, thought culture, F-boy culture, drug culture, gang culture, degeneracy. How do we look feeding into and circulating degeneracy about our people and our culture, by posting it online and feeding into the foolishness. Now, it's your platform, it's your Facebook, it's your Twitter, it's your Instagram, whatever you're affluent on, it's yours. You can post whatever content you want. But just know it comes at a price if you're an original man or original woman. So, and the price is, that negative perception of your people and your culture. So, this podcast isn't about caring what people outside of our culture think about us. It's definitely not seeking their validation of us. This is basically like, if you're going to tell our story, tell it correctly. Tell it from the perspective that we're kings and queens. Tell it from the perspective that we're gods and goddesses of the universe. Say that part of it. Because that's exactly what I do on my platform. I share stories of, redemption. I share stories about our people triumphing in the face of adversity, overcoming obstacles. I share stories of unity, of leadership, of entrepreneurship, of family structure, of community involvement. These are the cornerstones of our people that's being lost now because of, the types of degeneracy and toxicity floating around on the internet, on television, in radio, in literature. So, like I already stated previously, that's the powers that be. That's their job to do that. They do that for entertainment purposes, to garner income, but then they also do it to cement dominant society, socioeconomic stronghold they have over the resources by placing themselves at the top of the pyramid and everybody else, beneath them. Making themselves, appear and seem superior by making everybody else seem like, degenerate lowlifes. Now, they do it to everybody, but they do it to our people the most because they fear our people the most. They know their history and they know ours. That's why they constantly keep trying to rewrite history, trying to write us out of history. Because they're terrified of our people. They know our accomplishments. They know everything we bring and have brought to the table. And their biggest fear is that once we stop fighting each other and start working together to build an infrastructure, our own infrastructures and empires and neighborhoods and communities, that we're going to turn around and do the same thing to them that they've done and are currently doing to us. But, it's an ill-gotten fear because that's not in our people's nature. Like I said, we descend from royalty. That's a petty trait. All we've ever done for civilization is teach, nurture, and protect life. We don't have a history of rape. We don't have a history of pillage. We've never stole anybody's land. We've never stripped people of their identities. We've never claimed something you know, of other people's and claimed it as our own. We've never done that. We don't have a history of doing that. We don't have a history of genocide. So yeah, that's essentially what the Narrative podcast is all about. That's my mission statement. I'm trying to inspire all my listeners, you know, to share positive content on their platforms about original people and original culture, bring awareness of why it's so important to do that. And I think I already did a good job in the intro telling you why. So another thing on my platform, I refer to our people. By our people, I mean black people. I refer to our people as original people as opposed to the word black. I'm not going to give a big long lecture about why, my theology about why, but it makes really good sense. I've put that, I'm almost 300 episodes in, so I've got plenty of older episodes where I'm breaking down why, not to, you know, why I don't choose to refer to myself as black and our people as black on this platform. But now I will say the word black if, like, you know, if it's in some information that I'm sharing, like if it's literally in the text, black woman, black man, I'll say black, you know, because I'm not, you know, I won't insert original if it's like literally in the text says black man, black woman, yada, yada, yada. I'm not that super hard up with it, but, you know. But just on my platform, I prefer to refer to our people as original people as opposed to the word black. Also, I try my very best to make my content time sensitive. I try not to exceed 1 hour per broadcast. The reason being is because when I first started podcasting, I had no idea about, you know, what I want to talk about, what type of subject matter that I want to cover. And so I just took a little step back, looked at my content and decided, you know, I want to uplift and edify my people. What's the best way to do that? And the best way to do that is to, you know, shoot straight to the meat. You know, keep it simple and plain. Put the knowledge out there, make it accessible for everybody, and try not to lose people. Try not to shoot over people's heads. Make sure, try to be as all-inclusive as possible, appeal to, you know, everybody's intellect, you know. Just find a way where you can engage, like, the most intelligent of people, and then also for the more practical people that don't use, like, really high range vernacular. You know, it doesn't mean you're not smart. It just means you don't see the point in saying the super big word. So that's, you know, my pocket I wanted to do. And that's why I try to, you know, keep my content brief and to the point. It also helps me stay on task and keeps me from veering off tangent and going down rabbit holes and talking in circles, basically. Because I want my content to have a nice flow to it, have cohesion, and basically make it more digestible for, you know, any demographic you can think of. So if I had to refer to myself, where am I at in the movement, I would say, like, I'm like the drive time DJ of the conscious movement. So it's like you can get everything you need right here on the go. You don't have to clear your entire schedule to listen to my content, and it'll resonate with you. And then you got, previous episodes you can refer back to. So I am building momentum. I'm working on getting some guests. I'm working on making the leap from audio to video. But for right now, this audio stuff is working for me. I think I covered all my bases. I'm about to dive right into the content. But before I do, just want to say, download this episode and our previously recorded episodes of the Narrator podcast, so that's how I pay the bills. So to keep this thing going, that's how you support. Now this is a live edition of the Narrator podcast. It differs. I broadcast full episodes on the weekend. I just recently started doing lives not too long ago. I think I've only been doing lives for about, half as long as I've been broadcasting. So I started in late 21. I think we was in the pandemic, still in quarantine and all that when I started podcasting. But yeah, I started doing live right when all the businesses started opening up and whatnot. But anyway, I digress. Diving into the content here on this live edition of the Narrator podcast on this wonderful Wednesday. Basically, what I do here on my live broadcast is I deliver positive frames of reference about our people and our culture via articles, via just news articles that I come across, whether it's, whatever medium I'm on, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And the purpose of me doing this, like I said, is to share positive frames of reference about our people and our culture, because we're constantly being bombarded with negativity about our people and our culture. And what that does is wreak havoc on our subconscious. And like I said, it's intentionally done to do that. This is why they set the, news up like that. Because believe it or not, it's psychological warfare. This is how they're, attempting to break our people, attempting to separate us and to keep us disenfranchised. And like I said before, the media is evil and wicked and divisive, but at the core of it, it's also a business. And the first law of business is supply and demand. So if you don't create the demand for the toxicity and the foolishness, they'll be less likely to create that ratchet content about our people, that the way they misappropriate our images to sell news. So this is why, I'm attempting to break that cycle by sharing positive news about our people and our culture. So having said all that, let's dive into the content here on the Narrator Podcast Live Edition. Up first article of this evening. The headline reads, "Meet 9-year-old girl who can teach anyone to repair motorcycles." And the sister is a young Nigerian lady. I'm not even going to attempt to say her last name. I'm going to just call the sister by her first name. It's Susanna. And her last name is, like I said, I'm not even going to try to attempt it. It's Nigerian. Just trust me. I'll spell it ADJAKIAPEKOR. And I know a Nigerian person's listening right now. What is so hard about it? You have the most difficult language in the world. I can pronounce your words, you cannot pronounce mine? Sorry, brother. I did my best. But anyway, the young lady has been repairing motorcycles since the age of 6. She is a third grader currently. How she got started on her track was one day her dad took off work early and visited her mom and her at home, and he was just really beat down and was complaining about how many hours that he has to devote to the shop, in order to make ends meet. He would rather be spending time with them, but he got to constantly stay working to, provide. So basically that sparked something inside of her mindset. Well, if I help him, I can spend some time with him, and then he can have, some free time to spend time alone, with me and mom. That was her, thought process at like 6 years old, thinking about that. Make really good sense, when you say it out loud. She says she can teach anybody to repair any make and model of, motorcycle. That's how advanced her skills levels are, working under the tutelage of her father. Her goals in the future, of course, she wants to open her own shop one day, and she wants to, go to school, learn about, electronics, so she can repair more sophisticated motorcycles, like the motorcycles, of course, with the onboard computer, the Navi and all that. So that's her goal in the future. So join me into giving a warm narrative podcast round of applause to young Susanna. All right. Up next article, the headline reads, parents hire their 16-year-old daughter to run family-owned soul food restaurant. And the 16-year-old in question's name is young sister by the name of Gabby Morrison of Charlotte, North Carolina. The name of the restaurant is called Nana Morrison's Soul Food. So she made the conscious play. She's been basically working. She grew up in the restaurant, been working there since she was old enough to work, since 8 years old. They had her, they started off small. They just had her like doing mostly cleaning stuff, so like bussing tables, refilling napkin holders, doing inventory, and then later on start doing back of the house stuff, restocking stuff, prepping food, just all the typical goings on at a restaurant you can think of. They was training her how to do it. The article goes on to say the restaurant opened in 2011 by her parents, Sean and Kiana Morrison. They was living on the East Coast before they moved, to Charlotte. So the place they moved to was basically a food desert. There were no grocery stores. There were no restaurants in that area, especially like they wanted some soul food. And anybody on, that's ever been to the East Coast, they know they have, it's the melting pot, of culture. So they got all kinds of soul food restaurants in New York, especially, back in the Harlem Renaissance era. I think one of the staples for a very long time was Sylvia's up in Harlem. But anyway, they couldn't find any soul food restaurants, so they decided to open their own. Now, as far as Gabby herself, like I said, she's been working there since age 5. She's always been an excellent student. She's always gotten straight A's every single grade level. Currently, she's holding down the honor roll. Privileges as a high schooler. So, she completed pretty much all of her requirements to graduate, but instead of electing to go on to college, she wanted to stay with her parents to help them run their restaurants. And so what they're going to do, they have another restaurant. They're entrusting Gabby because, she shows such tenacity with keeping up her grades and learning the ropes of the business. They're going to give her the reins over their other restaurant on a different side of town. They're going to make her the GM of that restaurant. She'd be earning $100K in salary. So, because the restaurant is like very successful. So, that's real good. She has options on the table. Of course, she can go to school. But she said, I like this. This is what I want to do. Like, you go to college to figure out what you want to do in life. She already knows what she wants to do in life. She said, that's the restaurant business is all she ever known. She loves it. She loves the customer service, so she doesn't have to get any, special training or whatnot. I'm pretty sure she doesn't have to physically go to college anyway now if she needs anything for a restaurant, because now you can do everything online. So if she needs to get her food handlers certification, she can do that online. She can get her OSHA certification online. She can get her Serve Safe certification online. So, she started through and she got the plan, and she wants to prove to herself and to her parents that she's up for the challenge. And this story, it really touched a chord to me because, that's really the pulse of the movement when you really think about it, generational wealth. And that's how you build generational wealth. You pass it from one generation to the next. So they're already going to pass down something that they built to their daughter who is showing an interest. And when she has kids, she can pass it down to them. And it'll stay in the neighborhood, and people in the neighborhood that live there can go. She can hire people within the neighborhood, people within her own family, and the original people dollar stays within the original people community. We don't have to venture outside of our neighborhoods and go places, that our presence is not wanted. Because it's 2023, and then it's still hard to get good service at commercial chains like Denny's, for example. That was not even a decade ago with their little debacle that they had. But anyway, let's see if I got anything else. Yeah, I think that's it on that one. Join me into giving Gabby a warm narrative podcast round of applause for her efforts to, inherit the mantle of Nona Morrison Soul Food. My bad, y'all said Nona. It's Nana. All right. Next article. Headline reads, 12-year-old black entrepreneur from Georgia mowing lawns to help pay family's bills. And the young brother's name is Jalen Jackson, and he resides in Columbus, Georgia. It all started one day when somebody approached Jalen and asked him to, help out with their lawnmower. So he was just like, somebody paid him just to push the lawn, not even to mow the grass initially. And gave him a couple dollars for just, helping him with the lawnmower. And so that sparked the thing. He got it, the light bulb went off, said, hey, I could probably get paid mowing lawns. And from that, he started mowing lawns, started making money, started getting a good reputation in the neighborhood. And his goal, or the thing that motivated him to mow lawns, is to, help out financially, help his mother out financially and his siblings. Because he got, he's one of six. I think he's the second oldest of six siblings. And so he wants to do his part to help his mom out with their school clothes, food, and, field trips and just, whatever, out-of-pocket expenses for school. And so that's good that he has that, that sense of urgency about him, that sense of responsibility. Because some grown people, full-grown adults, won't get up off their butt and make something happen. But this 12-year-old young man went and got a lawnmower and said, I ain't going to work with nobody, for nobody. I'm going to create my own opportunity. At 12, I'm not going to beg nobody for no job. So yeah, he was motivated by just helping his mother out and with, cost of living expenses and whatever it takes to raise a family, out to eat and all that, school clothes and whatever. But his lawnmower service is highly successful. He's highly reputable in that area. Everybody knows who he is and, sends plenty of work his way. So that is good. And I shared this story too, to also, it really makes me mad when I always hear the older generation in my day, the young kids, they don't want to do nothing. And it's like that in every generation. And I think this generation gets the most flack because they have the technology. And like the old heads is like, they don't want to do nothing but sit up on that damn computer and play video games and Fortnite. Man, listen. Do you know your kid, like, you should watch your kids. You should watch your little niece. You should watch your little nephew, your little cousin, because they know something about this technology. You understand? Like, they know something about this technology. There's like literally 1,001 hustles on the internet. Like, all you got to do, literally, if you're having a tough time getting a job or a tough time making ends meet, if you don't got a tablet or a laptop or a desktop, if you got a smartphone, a government smartphone, you can just type stuff in the Google browser. Make money doing this. Make money, earn money doing this, earn money doing that. There's like literally all kinds of apps out there. There's literally all kinds of instructional videos. You can get paid watching videos. You can get paid listening to songs. You can get paid doing affiliate marketing. You can get paid doing drop shipping. There's like a bazillion hustles out there in the digital age we live in. So don't be so judgmental and be like, they ain't doing nothing but sitting up on their phone and computer, wasting their life away. Because the whole time they might be sitting up there getting gift cards, getting $10, $20 here and there, doing taking surveys or whatever. You don't know. They know something, you don't. Like, they born with the technology. Now, as far as us, I'm a Gen Xer, we was in the analog era. So we had to get out and mow lawns and shovel snow and recycle cans and, detassel corn or build shelves or, wash cars, detail cars. Like, it was back-breaking, intensive work back then, but it's not like that no more, So the new hustle is the computer. And these young people that's living in this era, they know how to utilize it. But anyway, this young man, though, he deserves a round of applause for having a sense of duty about himself, wanting to make life easier for his mother, wanting to, have his, younger siblings have something nice. That he's that selfless at that age, because he could just be making money and only worried about himself. Could just, mow lawns and just keep the money himself and just, have his siblings looking all, down bad, and he got on J's and all the new gear. And that's like a lot in the hood. We see that every day. When people start selling drugs, like, we see the drug dealer of the family, they geared up, they suited and booted from the feet up. But then, the parents is living in the shack. He or her, because, females, they sell drugs too. They fresh to death, but when you go to their house is all raggedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, their siblings down bad, but they got money. But this young man ain't like that. So join me into giving young Jalen a Warm Narrative podcast round of applause for his lawn mowing endeavor. All right. Next article here on the Narrator Podcast. Headline reads, 15-year-old black student from Florida. Told you I was going to say black if it's in the headline. 15-year-old black student from Florida skips grade 9 and goes straight to 12. And the young sister's name is Jay Baker of Homestead, Florida. She started studying Homestead High, currently holds the highest GPA of her school. She also participated in athletics. The athletics she participated in like cheer squad, cheerleading. She also earned special recognition from City Hall for her academic achievement. She plans to attend Florida International University and major in business. And then she's also going to join the cheer squad at that college. There wasn't really nothing else about it. It was super brief, but that's awesome that she nailed it on the first try. Basically, she came in high school as a freshman and just, blam, got all her credits in the first year. So join me into giving young Jay a Narrative Podcast round of applause. All right. Next article reads, headline reads, entrepreneur makes history, opens first ever black-owned bank in Arkansas. Some people, is it Arkansas or Arkansas? Is that the same? Not too good on geography. I kind of suck, but yeah, remember that show, the HBO special, Banging in Little Rock? They should do another, revisit Little Rock and see if any surviving cast members are still alive, what they're up to now. I never forget that one scene. Join the gang, man. Got a house, car, everything. It's not funny, but I'm just saying, that was, if you know, if you ever watched it, Banging in Little Rock. But anyway, on to this story of excellence, because that's what I do here on the Narrative Podcast. I provide positive frames of reference about excellence within our community. So this brother, oh shoot, I forgot to put his name in the notes. The accomplishment, but I don't got the name. All right, let me see. My bad, it's live, y'all. I believe his name is Arthur Washington. Let me see. I'm just doing that so it don't be no dead air space. Okay, I got his name now. So the brother's name is Arlo Washington. He is the founder and CEO of People Trust Community Federal Credit Union. It's an accredited full-service credit union in Little Rock, Arkansas, or whatever you provide. It just feels Arkansas. That's how it is in our article, but it just feels weird. Provides capital to low and moderate income communities. So that's our community. It's the first and only black-owned bank in that entire state. So what propelled him to even want to be a banker is just, hardships of life. He had it hard growing up. He was left to raise his younger siblings after his mother died. Later on, he moved, from the South to New York and found work barbering and modeling at the age of 19. He moved back down south and then later would open up his own barbershop and his own barber college. He opened 7 barbershops up first before later opening up his own barber college. While pursuing his career in barbering, he noticed people would flock to that area seeking financial loans because there was a check cashing place in that area. The check cashing place basically went out of business, but people were still coming back in that area while, because he was like in that same strip, he had a barber college and, one of his, barber shops in that area too. So he was just like, well, let me take a crack at it. Let me figure this thing out and try to open something. I'm just giving you the streamlined version. It's a lot more complex than that. It takes years to get all your financial things you need to run a business and get the, financial backing to pull one of those off. But through no avail, he finally opened up his own in 22. He started off just offering small dollar loans using $100 or $1,000, just from $1,000 that he set aside from barbering. And that's it for that story. Okay, it says also here he started a non-profit first and then, funneled the profit from that into, parlayed that up into, his Kickstarter fund for opening the barbershop. And that's something a whole lot of financial gurus online say when you're starting your own business, to get your, to get your LLC, get you a trust, and then also get a nonprofit organization or a ministry, because the profits that you get from your business, you can pay into your trust, and then you can donate to your nonprofit organization. And so essentially you'll be paying yourself. You're keeping all the profit and still really not taking from the community, because if you actually have a legit nonprofit organization, so the community's still getting it, but then you're still getting tax write-offs and kickback and whatever. And so that's basically what he did to start his credit union. But anyway, that's it for that story. Join me in giving Brother Arlo Washington a warm narrative round of applause for opening the first black-owned bank or black-owned credit union in Arkansas. I can't get used to saying that. All right, I believe this is our last story of the night, I believe. Let me see. Oh, no, I got one more. I got a couple more, my bad. All right, I just wrote them kind of weird. Oh, yeah, this might be the last one. That is so cool. Yeah, I think I got one more. All right, yeah. Last story of the evening. Okay. Headline in the article reads, Father and son graduated together from the same college on the same day. The son is 23 years old. The father is 49 years old. The son's name is Brandon Gathrist. I'm saying the name incorrectly. My apologies. And the father's name is Antonio. Same last name, obviously. They both graduated from South Carolina State. Antonio got master's degree in rehabilitation counseling and psychology. Brandon got a master's in business management. Antonio heard about a special degree program at South Carolina State and entered it, taking a two-year course, or entered the institution 2 years after his son started college. My bad. He took his classes online. Brandon, on the other hand, attended classes on campus. And they both drew, believe it or not, both drew inspiration from each other. They were both inspired by each other. Antonio said he was inspired by his son's perseverance, while Antonio was just inspired by his fatherhood. He said he was his father is the perfect model of a black male father figure. He said his father was God-fearing, successful, intelligent, and knows exactly what he's doing. Aw, ain't that sweet? So join me into giving those brothers a warm narrative podcast round of applause for their academic achievements. that one made me feel really good because we don't typically have a whole lot of good stories about, young original men. It's like they go out of their way to make us all seem like drug dealers, gangbangers, or just like we don't have, nobody attempted to try to raise us. Like we don't have a moral compass or a conscience. We're just like born criminalistic. Well, like I said, that's it for the articles for this evening. Next section here on the Narrative Podcast, I'm addressing some commentary about what's going on in the world globally. And the reason why I do that is basically to unpack whatever is going on in the world or with just something specifically within our community. Through our eyes, because like I said, the media will go out of their way to, make us look or sound 10 types of crazy. And if history hasn't taught us anything, it's taught us this. If you do not tell your own story, your story will be told for you. So that's precisely what I'm doing when I deliver commentary. I'm telling our story before our story gets told for us. So, having said that, I got to also unveil a disclaimer. If I ever deliver any type of commentary and I'm talking about a celebrity, I'm bringing them up pretty much as a vehicle, just illustrating a point that I'm trying to make. Because it's never, what I never want to do is like gossip or, come across like I'm trying to kick a brother or trying to kick a sister while they down. Because that's not the goal of the Narrative Podcast. On my platform, what I try to pride myself in doing is uplifting and edifying our people. Not, spreading unfounded rumors and gossip. This is a gossip-free zone. I don't typically try to gossip about people. On a personal note, I could care less about, who is celebrities dating, what they're doing in their personal life outside of being on stage, outside of being on a, basketball court or a football field or running track or whatever, athletic thing they do or whatever type of, acting on a stage or in the movie. Outside of that, I can care less about, what they're doing in their personal lives, like as far as like who they're dating and, all that type of stuff. That's their business. So that's all I ever try to do on here is to uplift and edify. Now, what I do on here when I deliver commentary, I do tell the truth. I'm truthful with my commentary. So if a brother or a sister from our community is doing something, or saying something that reflects poorly on all of us through their actions or something that they said, publicly, I will address that, But other than that, I don't really be trying to talk about celebrities. I just want to put that PSA out there. All right, so I don't got a whole lot to talk about tonight, just a few things that kind of really worked my nerves when it came across my timeline. So the first thing is, I don't believe they've released the sister's name. It's just saying the incident. Apparently something has happened in Fayetteville, North Carolina, at a bar called Dunlap, or in a district or a bar called Dunlap. And a sister basically got assaulted. And so when the police arrived on the scene, like they normally do, they put their hands, they used forcefully restrain the sister. So when they go, it was like, it's a bar, it was brolicky, it was a fight, mutual combat. It didn't say the ethnicity of the person that she was allegedly fighting in a fight with. The end result was her, getting tased and, by the police after she had already been in a physical altercation with whoever was in the bar. It says they've been, protesting that establishment ever since the incident happened. And I'll talk more about it when I find out more about it, but all the sources I've been looking online about it I haven't really seen nothing disclosing her name. Well, I'm not in no big hurry. I guess I can try to punch it up again, because like when I do my stuff, when I do my articles and stuff for my live feeds, I never know what day I'm gonna have available to go live. I just kind of jot notes and take little bulleted points. And then whenever I get an opportunity to go live during the weekday, I share the information back like that. But that's just why I'm saying, like, I'm not that organized this evening with the information. But I'm going to try to find her name. Okay. Oh no, that's somebody totally different. Unless I forgot. Okay. Oh, those was two. I apologize. It was two different occasions. This was in Alabama. Okay. That incident was in Alabama. My bad. It happened on Tuesday night in Alabama. Vegas go. I'm still not really finding it, but just trust me, it happened in Alabama. I'm thinking, hold on. I might have to come back to that one, but I'll go on to the next one. I'm going to try to find it before I close out for this evening. But anyway, there was another sister that happened on the 6th in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And that sister was a property manager. And the police had ran up on her. She's like leaving for the day or whatever. And they ended up tasing her. And, the body cam footage captured the whole thing. Punch that back up and get that sister's name. I don't know why I keep on saying Lafayette. It's Fayetteville. And I believe the sister's name was Lana Dunlap. Let me see. No. I sucked at taking notes today. I'm trying to find her name. Oh, geez. I don't know what happened. It happened on September 6th, though. I believe the sister's name is Lana Dunlap. I don't know why nothing's popping up for it. Harry Daniels is the lawyer, and they're intending to file a federal lawsuit for the incident. So I don't know anything other than that. I guess the story's still developing. I try to stay away from stories that's still developing, but that was just kind of messed up. The only reason why I really covered both of those stories is to talk about my speaking point for tonight, which is the agenda. You notice they do it to sisters. The police, it seems to be like a war against sisters right now. We just a few weeks ago, now we heard about an elderly lady getting assaulted on mass transit. And now it seems to be a rash of police putting their hands on sisters. So I don't think it's too far-fetched in assuming something foul's going on. So last story of the evening, before getting on up out of here. So yeah. No, I'm sorry. That's just basically what happened. I was trying to focus on something else. All right. I got what I was looking for now. So basically, now on to the next story of this evening. Sorry, I lost my place. Next article of the evening, or the next topic I want to talk about is what happened Tuesday night at Rustic Bar located in the 400 block of Central Ave. That was what I was talking about. In Duluth, Minnesota. That was a sister's name that they wasn't really releasing yet. I had one more thing that I wanted to talk about. I think it was like a band leader that got punched. Did y'all hear about that? Or tased by the police. I guess they told the people to stop playing, told both bands to stop playing, but it was, of course, a brother, still, had his students play. So the way they try to unpack it is they was trying to, say he was just not cooperating, and he was trying to be belligerent, whatever, and that wasn't the case. they couldn't really hear. It was a high school sporting event. They cutting up. It's a brother, so they cutting up. And they try to, make the story break as if he was resisting arrest and being belligerent and not being, I'm doing air quotes, compliant. They always try to do that. Every time they come to the scene, we're not following directions, we're not being compliant with protocol. Like the half of them don't even know the protocol. That's a big, giant thing wrong with our police department. Half of them don't know the laws that they're enforcing. They don't even know, the rules of engagement, how they're supposed to, civically engage a civilian when they don't even really know the statutes and the laws. So how can you enforce something that you don't know? But what was that brother's name? Look it up right quick. Johnny Mims was the brother's name. So yeah, he got tased, publicly embarrassed. And it wasn't even all that crucial. It was a sporting event. I shouldn't have to point out the double standards from when it's a sporting event involving us versus dominant society. When it's us, the police come and enforce. When it's them, not so much. We done seen footage when their team wins. They flipping over cars, throwing burning mattresses out of houses. How long are we going to take this? And they sit up there and humiliated that brother in front of the students and the world. Crazy. But anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Thank you for listening. That's it and that's all. This has been another live edition of the Narrative Podcast. Tune in this weekend for a full episode of the Narrative Podcast. Download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Wherever you get your podcast from, tune in on a regular basis, as I don't know what days that I'm going to go live. So the best ways to do that, if you got a Twitter or YouTube, follow me on both, and I'm Halsey Allen on both. For my YouTube, it's Halsey Allen. So you hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Hit the notification bell. Now they got all notifications. So hit all on YouTube when you hit the notification bell, because this platform that I'm on, it broadcasts directly to YouTube when I'm live, and also broadcasts directly to Twitter or X, as it's called now, and follow me on that platform, Halsey Allen. But I for sure every single weekend without fail, do a full episode of the Narrative Podcast. Now, the way the full version differs from the live version, I have 6 sections in the full version of the Narrative Podcast, and I break down each section. I identify what I'll be talking about in each section as I come to them. And once again, I do that for time reasons, because I don't try to exceed 1 hour. So yeah, Join me this weekend for a full episode of the Narrator podcast. Also, I have written a book of poetry titled The Black Card, and it is available on poetizer.com. So go purchase that today. The Black Card. The Black Card is basically a comprehensive look at our people as a culture, everything we bring to the table, all our experiences, all the nuances about our people and our culture is captured in those pieces of poetry. Basically, it's like a survival card, a survival guide. Yeah, the Black Card. Purchase your copy of the Black Card today or get your Black Card revoked. Last order of business. I have a poetry blog on blogger.com. It's titled hallziespoetrycorner. It's just an outlet, a creative outlet for me, but I got it monetized. So basically, how you support that is share poems. The link or poems from Hallzies Poetry Corner on all platforms, and the link is www.mrhallziesblogs.com on blogger.com. My tagline is poetry with a passion, poetry for all occasions. When you read one of them, you'll find out why. And basically, it's just like poetry I write in the moment, really inspired, really creative. I don't think about the title or the subject matter, but when you read them, you're guaranteed to find something you can gravitate to or relate to on Hallzies Poetry Corner. So, yeah, go support, share poems from Hallzies Poetry Corner on all platforms. Well, that's it and that's all. Thank you all for listening. I'm Halsey Allen, and I'm changing the narrative one episode at a time. I'm asking you all to become narrators and help me in my quest to change the narrative. You guys can change the narrative one social media post at a time, while I'm changing the narrative one episode at a time. Until next time, Halsey Allen and the Narrator podcast signing off. And it's like that.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.